Hi there, and thank you very much for joining me on this webinar. There's some important information coming up, which will be really useful for you. Past therapy, how to use it, what is it, and how the InnerStatesTherapy.com app will help you to bring your inner worlds to life. Now, have you ever wondered what the voices inside you might look like? We all think in pictures a lot of the time, and how these parts are shaping every thought and action that you take. Well, now you can finally get to see them and learn how to work with each part of you. I'll explain what parts are in a moment. This InnerStatesTherapy.com app will help bring all of this to light for you. So this tool is about unlocking inner change. It's a visual tool for emotional insights and for therapeutic breakthroughs. You don't need to be a therapist or to work with a therapist. You can do this with your own journey. And there are some very useful ALF prompts within this that help you get through that bit. At the end of the presentation, there is a special bonus offer for you as a thank you for joining me. And a little bit about me. I'm Nigel Edwards, a hypnotist and the founder of the InnerStatesTherapy.com app. I specialize in anxiety and stress. I've worked with many clients in many areas, fears, phobias, all sorts of things like that, but mostly specializing in anxiety and stress. And I use parts therapy as a great means of people getting to know their inner world, their inner voices, inner feelings, parts of them. Behaviors and beliefs are very much influenced by these parts of us. So I'm going to go through what is parts therapy with some really easy to understand examples. And my inspiration for doing this app is, having worked with lots of people and my own inner journey, I've got to know how people's minds are working. And I've used image-based card decks in the past. But once they've been used, they're unable to record or keep this or work with it any further. So I've used that experience to work with a tool that allows you to save things, go back to it, manipulate it. The journey just continues. So if you're a therapist or working on your own journey, this is equally useful to you. People love it because it has over 100 vivid archetype inner states images within it. That captures nearly everything that anybody could have. We can group things as a result of this, the tool that we will use, into the polarized inner states within us and conflicts and protectors and critics and that sort of thing. You can add notes and insights as you go. You can save, export things, entire sessions you can come back to you. There are these AI support prompts in there, and you can use it on any device, laptop, iPad, iPhone, whatever type of phone you have, you can still use it. You can either use it, with a keyboard and mouse and clicking, or you can just use the fingertip for swiping. It works on anything, bringing that inner world into life. Now, so this is a modern, up-to-date way of going through the self-guided therapy here. Visual, intuitive, and interactive, all in your own time. So some people call it parts work or IFS, internal family systems, or ego state work. I'll go through the principles of what this means so you get the understanding of what it is that you're dealing with. And there are no printed cards necessary for this. There are no messy setups, just swipe them, group them, and you can get to the real therapy very, very quickly. Whether you're on your own journey or whether you are a therapist or a therapist looking to go through this kind of thing with others, it's equally good. So on to the main content of parts therapy. What is it? So inner states or parts are universal. We all have them. You might think of neurological pathways inside your brain that light up when you are in a certain situation. For different situations in life, you might be a slightly different person with your work head on or your home head on. These are parts, ego states, inner states, whatever you want to use them. Some people call it resources. Just like if you sit in your car, as long as you're a car driver, and you switch the engine on, you are becoming the driver of that car. The part of you inside that knows how to drive it is in the executive of your mind. You are able to do that pretty much a lot of the time unconsciously. So you're unaware of what it is you're actually doing, mirror signal maneuver. It's all been unconsciously, competently worked through. So this app will show you how to work with that. In this model of parts, Mustang, Mike Mandel, a fantastic hypnotherapist, for coming up with this kind of model. So I do credit him for the idea. And if you have over 150 parts of you in total, on a day-to-day basis, you might be seeing about 10 to 25 different parts of you regularly on a daily basis. But only one part can be in the executive of your mind at one time, i.e., with one front door to the outside world, one part can be in there. And these are digital. Just like, have you ever walked into a room and thought, what did I come in here for? It's because the part that sent you in there was not the part in your mind when you arrived in the room. So these parts change very quickly. Usually called upon by the circumstances, the situation you are in, you become that person. And in the basement area, there may be more parts. Some of these might be very resourceful. Maybe an introverted person thrust into the realms of a disaster scenario and they're having to organize and command and control people and organize them in a way that they wouldn't normally feel that personality is able to come out. It's a very resourceful part that you might come across now and again. Also down in the basement area, imagine there's something like a bomb shelter. And in there would be the parts of you that maybe don't come out very often. Some you've probably not heard of for a long time, maybe childlike parts, generally with some kind of trauma, fear, anger, sadness, guilt, shame, overwhelm. Those parts often have a bad habit with them. Maybe there's a scene where somebody, to be sociable, they need a lot of alcohol to feel comfortable to be sociable. But imagine the scene where that guy that needs too much alcohol to be sociable has to make a speech for his daughter's wedding. It wouldn't go. So if we work with the inner state that comes out that needs that alcohol to be comfortable in that scenario, we work with it in that way, it no longer will need that alcohol to feel comfortable to be sociable. And therefore, we resolve the problem with the part and habit goes away with it. So here's the basic model, and now it can meet the team. So on the good side, they might be coordinated, cooperative, have clear roles. But on the bad side, you might get a part of you that's exiled, dissonant, unloved. A little example of that. If you are the team and all the players within you at once, going for that goal up there, all your players are equally resourced. But if the goal has moved because you've changed ends and they don't know about it, you could have a part of you scoring own goals. Call it self-sabotage. Or think of the employees. If you're the company, as your person, you're the company and the employees within you at once. One thing, you might have an employee that only ever finds the problems, the criticisms. This is wrong. That might be broken. This isn't going well. If you only get the complaints, that employee isn't very popular. So if we can guide that part of you, not just to bring up the problems, but to bring up an answer as well. Hey, this is going wrong, but we could do this or this. What do you think, boss? That would be a better employee. But importantly, think about the employee who is doing the job that they think they have to do, and they have to do it that way. Otherwise, the company's all going to fall apart and somebody could get hurt. That employee is going to feel compelled to do that job in that way, or else there's going to be disaster. This happens regularly within people's minds, that there's a part of you that acts, reacts, works in a certain way that is kind of protecting you. And it feels that if it doesn't do that, then disaster is going to be there. You'll be overwhelmed, you'll be embarrassed, you'll be judged, whatever. So those parts often get exiled. We don't like that. I hate that part of me that does that. I get annoyed about that part of me. So people often have a really bad feeling about a part of them. But when we get to know that part, it really is a case of understanding that it's just been taken off of track. Its original course was to be a cheerleader, a confident voice inside your head, but it's got sidetracked and it's now doing a job it hates doing and it feels it's disliked and not acknowledged for doing it. So once we get that, we get harmony in the team, we get coordination, cooperation. So working with that. And with this tool that I've created, we can identify through images whether they are positive parts or negative parts. So the negative parts that we have within us might be self-critical. They might be overly protective. They might be self-sabotaging in some way. Whereas positive parts, like that good coaching voice inside, reassuring and encouraging to you, we can have inner conflicts between pairs of parts. Oh, on one hand, I want to take that trip, but on the other hand, I want to stay at home and do this thing at the house instead. And they are pulling in different directions. Think of the guy who wants to run marathons and have a six-pack tummy, but a lot of the time at weekends he's picking out on junk food. And he likes that, to be able to let go and have some junk food. There are parts pulling in different directions here. And he beats himself up all the time that he goes off the track. So we need those parts to work together and to be cooperating and coordinating. So we can have those inner conflict pairs, and we can have inner supporting pairs that are balanced and coordinating. That's where we want to get to, inner peace. Traumatized parts can be formed over a period of time through one incident or a collection of incidents. Fear, anger, sadness, avoiding things. And we can identify what it is in ourselves that we really want to work with. And those inner voices that you have, the feelings that result from it, we're now bringing it to life with images. As we do, tend to think in pictures. These are a few sample pictures of what clients I've worked with have described to me. So I created the images that represent the common archetypes, inner states or ego states that people have. On the left-hand side, for instance, somebody felt that there was a blockage in front of me. It was like, they said, it was like a brick wall that's stopping me from seeing where I want to go and stopping me from going where I think I want to go. By working with that part, we understood what it was trying to protect that person from, and we managed to morph it into a completely different resource, able to see ahead in a kind of control room atmosphere where there was access to everything that they needed. And simply inside the mind, if there's a neurological pathway that needs to be connected with more information, imagine the scene that one very limited, restricted part in you can expand into understanding a lot more, then it can serve you better. So by correcting, working with the part, we were able to make that change. On the other side here, this person felt that they were being judged all the time and judging themselves. In fact, they had an inner focus so much that they were procrastinating. They weren't getting anything done because their inner focus in the attention to detail was so great because of the fear of being judged. So we worked out that the judge would rather it be done than perfect, and allowed the barrier to come down a little bit so that there was still good attention to detail. Oh, yes. But to the point where progress was made, jobs were completed. It was so much easier to get stuff done rather than this going round in circles all the time, never feeling good enough, never wanting to put work out for other people to see it because of the fear of being judged. So great breakthroughs can be made, have been made, and by identifying these parts within you, you can do the same thing. With this tool, it's a visual tool, and you'll see images that will come up. And what you need to do is review each image very briefly. It's a gut feeling. Does it resonate or not? And with easy to use intuitive functions, if you're on a touch screen, you can swipe it to the right if it resonates, swipe it to the left if it doesn't resonate. Equally, you can click to the right or click to the left. And there's a recall button in the middle. If you just click to one, you think, what did I do? You can recall it and have another quick look at it. So it's easy to move through over 100 images in a short space of time, where you then end up with a final group. And once the full deck has been reviewed, you get an opportunity to review and reject some, because, hey, you might have said yes, yes, yes on quite a few, and they don't actually mean so much. So once you get to that point, these are just a selection here of one previous example. And you can then move on to the next stage where you can then put them into groups. Now, I haven't given these images specific names because that's up to you to choose. For instance, the guy with the magnifying glass over on the right there, it could be good attention to detail, or it might be overprotection, perfectionism. So it might be that one image is negative to one person and positive to somebody else. What we're going to do when we get to this grouping stage is start to slide to move the images into the groups for negative inner states, the inner child or the procrastinator or the person who's always questioning everything and ruminating about everything. We've got the positive inner states, the joker, the presenter, the caring parent. Whatever these images mean to you is how you will end up grouping them, and you can assign names to them with the 3 dots that you can see in each square, each image. You can assign the name that you give to it, and then you can move it into the group that you choose. And it is also built with the opportunity for you to create a new group of your own if there's something else. And then there is this conflict pairs area. You can bring 2 in there that perhaps need to work together, a judge and a perfectionist, and therapeutic focus, anything that really stands out, it resonates to say something needs to be worked on here. And the prompt or a therapist would help you to work through how to get the most out of that. You can review the results. You can make some notes for further analysis to come back to it. Once you work through the part of you for some therapeutic work of your own, then you can come back to this and reflect on the notes. And it's good to take these notes as you go through. These notes and the images that you've selected can be saved for further analysis to come back to you, or even exported onto your own device as images and notes, saving it, editing it again, exporting it, or printing it. Again, there's a few selected images there that give you a taster of what some of these things might look like and how it might resonate. The review and return area allows you to go through the selection process for yourself, any other people that you're working with, members of the family, or for you to do it on separate sections. And you can see the icons there, easy to go in and edit, review it again. And if you're finished with something, you can then go and delete that one. For the pro version, you get up to 50 different images, groups that you can save, sessions you can save. So my own experience of self-discovery helped me to determine how to create this app, how to create the images involved by researching and creating. This is quite a journey that I went through of self-discovery for myself. What do these images mean and resonate with myself? Great fun and some further emotional insights through this process. So it's not just an app. It's a tool for your transformation. Self-development people, self-guided, just curious, or even for a therapist to use. Coaching. And this is like this visual deck. It helps you to really get into what is the thought pattern, the voices, the themes inside. So carrying on with this, every image can prompt a story or a memory or some kind of a shift inside. Maybe you could be journaling or self-guiding, and the same principles will apply to this. You don't need to know the right meaning of any of the images for it to work. Just follow the thread, start exploring this, and let it lead you with your own interpretation of how things work. Moving on to the app in action now. I'm going to go into the app and you will see the first image that comes up. Make this a bit bigger. There we are. So we've got the menus on the left-hand side here. This is my own menu, but you're going to get the access to inner states. And this is where you'll see the first image pop up. And if it resonates, you can tick it or swipe it over there. So as I'm on a desktop, I will be clicking. Inner child, does it resonate? Whether you like the picture or not, it doesn't really matter. It's whether it resonates with you. Does it mean something? And as you click through, another image pops up. For me, this resonates. Man with magnifying glass. Maybe that means something different to you. Perfectionist, attention to detail. Maybe it's a good thing. Maybe it's a bad thing. Marathon man, the happy pig. That contrast that I referred to earlier between the man who wanted to be able to run marathons and have a six-pack tummy, yet at weekends he was pigging out on junk food. These kind of conflicts can arise as you go through these images. Some of these you're familiar with already from the previous screens. The Joker, we've all probably got one of those inside us. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes they get out of control. Controller, knight in shining armor, warriors, an inner child that's locked in perhaps. Life's a bit of a tornado sometimes. We can be thinking in metaphors. My life is like a ... Fill it in. What is it meaning to you? And if there's something that doesn't resonate with you on this occasion, then we would simply press the cross, hiding behind a mask. And these inner states are very much like wearing a mask for different purposes. Sometimes we are putting a mask on and being a type of person for an occasion, but inside we're breaking or something like that. It's getting to know what it is we're doing, why, what it really means. Magician. So I'll give these names for my own choice, but you might interpret something differently. So we get to a point where we've selected a few, rejected a few, and the app is designed so that you don't have to go through all of the 111 images, but I would recommend doing so for the full benefit of seeing all of the different archetypes that are possible. For the purpose of demonstration here, we will just go through the ones that are meaning something in this particular shortened demonstration session here. Some of them are strong, some of them are weak, Some are negative states, some are positive states. And what I'm going to do now is go to review. And those are the ones that I selected just now, as you can see, as I flip through. So there's maybe one that we don't want to get rid of that one. Clutter. And we go into next. Intuitive, easy to spot what you need to do. From now, these are the states that were selected and they can be moved around. You can name them by clicking on the three dots. So what do we call this one? Perhaps we call it rage or anger, and the name pops up underneath. You can then start to move them into the negative area. Maybe this judge for me is a positive one, as would be this one. Maybe that's part of that inner conflict that I mentioned with the happy pig and that one. Maybe we want to put the problem one on the left-hand side and the result on the right-hand side. Therapeutic focus. What sort of thing would be a therapeutic focus? Perhaps we've got to focus on the inner child. What does it mean to you? Adding some notes, some very important areas to record whatever you wanted to do. And I'm going to move on to clients here. These are previously saved sessions that I've got in here where we can edit. We can return to what was the result of something that we went through before. And as a result of this, you can view, that's where you can export it, save it, further editing. So that gives you a taster. And within this, we have the AI support for the Pro version with IFS style questions, past type questions, for you to take away those questions and to be able to go into your own therapeutic focus and journey. So back to our presentation. Thank you for bearing with me through that presentation. I hope that means something to you. The app is obviously easy to use, intuitive to use. There are lots of different profiles, the plans that we have available to you, and that will be recorded in your subscription within your profile. So you can have a look at this and see where you're currently at. This is the Pro plan that I've been demonstrating here. Subscription plans, we have an intro level, the Inner States Pro, which is the best value of all, with all of the facilities that you have seen today. And for a limited time, you can get the Founder's Lifetime Access, where I'll actually give you a one-to-one video onboarding session so you can really understand things. And for this special period only, the Lifetime is available for $145 in sterling or $181 in dollars. You can pay in either currency. And that gives you access to this forever. And that's for an early adopter special for only 1 month. Then the price is going to go up. So if you get in there quickly, you get this for a real bargain price. And you can have that completely free for a 7-day trial, or for 1 month free with the discount code 100month. And that lifetime access plan price, that lifetime price that I offered, is going up soon. After 1 month, that'll be it. It's going up to the higher level. So get in there quick if you want to get that special deal. Here is the QR code so that you can scan this now, take a photo of it, but it's easy to get to the www.innerstatestherapy.com. Easy to say, easy to remember. Access the Inner States Therapy app today with this QR code, or simply by going to the innerstatestherapy.com location. Whether it's a laptop, an iPad, or a phone of any description, you'll be able to get into that. Please share this with anybody else who you feel might benefit from this, whether you're on your own guided journey of self-discovery, just curious, or maybe you're a therapist who's interested in this area, or perhaps you would like to have a therapist to help work with you. You can always give me a call, Nigel Edwards, and I'm just going to dive into a few quick questions here to see if there's perhaps anything here that can answer the questions that you would normally have. And your comments, please, by letting me know. What does the Inner States Therapy app actually do? So as a recap here, it is a visual tool that helps you to explore, understand, and work with different parts of your emotional self. Through this image selection, remember we swiped them to the left or to the right, you can select the ones, you can group them, you can then uncover patterns and thoughts and behaviors within you. And you can work with that for yourself with the AI prompts, or maybe you might choose to go through with a therapist. Perhaps you are even a therapist interested in parts therapy. And what are ego states or inner states? I mentioned that house with the image of the inner states within that house with one front door to the outside world. These are parts of your personality formed by experiences, emotions, and beliefs, situations. Some of them are going to be nurturing and confident for you, the good voice inside that. Yes, you could do this a little bit further, whatever you want. While others may be holding pain or fear from the past and limiting you in some way, saying, oh, no, you're not good enough for this. By understanding them, you can help work with them, and this helps bring balance and healing to you. How does the swipe function work? very easily. You can actually click if you're on a desktop type thing, or just use your fingertip to swipe to the right or the green tick if you feel it resonates with you, or swipe it, click it to the left if it doesn't resonate with you. And then we've got the yellow circle with the recall button if you want to just go back to the one you previously just went through. Do I need a therapist to use it? Not at all. Many people will be using it for personal growth, self-awareness. It's the kind of tool for this modern era where you can use things and do your own self-journey. That said, if you want to use a therapist, you can then sometimes deepen that level of insights and gain more powerful transformations. The AI prompts will really help you. What is the difference between the starter and the pro plans? Well, the starter version includes just a very limited deck access and limited session tracking. The pro is the one I recommend. It unlocks more decks, the full deck of images, export options, and the pro gives you the full tracking, note-taking, exporting tools there. And you can also choose the one-time lifetime plan for full access forever and a one-to-one onboarding for that. How can this app help me feel better? Well, obviously by connecting with the different parts of yourself visually, you can gain that clarity to remove your limiting beliefs and blockages. Naming and organizing these parts into groups brings you that awareness. It's the first step towards healing whatever was stopping you from living your life to the full. And after all, if we're not doing things in life, we're missing out. They're being held back, our career, our family, relationships, whatever it is. What is that inaction costing you, really? It might be losing your opportunities for real progress in your work environment, for achievements and successes, love and connection, or moments of laughter. You can miss out on so much if you're living a limited life. Can I name or group the images? Of course, yes, you can. Give them names. After you've gone through the initial swipe process, you can review them, chuck some out, name the ones you've got left over that you want to name, and then group them into the positive, negative, conflict pairs, or therapeutic focus. And often ask this question, is the app based on a specific therapy model? The approach that I use was inspired by ego state therapy that I have learned and worked with, past work. And there are other intuitive psychological models that do value this internal dialogue and self-compassion. And for me, you can always contact me for more details if you want to work with a qualified therapist like myself in this field. I'd be very happy to work with you. If there are any more questions, please do let me know in the usual way or contact me directly. So thank you so much for coming through this webinar to this point. And obviously the lifetime version or the free extended trial is for you. 100 month is that code to use. You can just type it in on the checkout and upgrade now so you can get full access to that innerstatestherapy.com app. You can email me at support@innerstatestherapy.com. There's the QR code once more if you wanted to take a snapshot of that so you don't lose it. And also you can contact me on nigel@ukhypnosisandcoaching.co.uk if you wanted to work on a one-to-one basis with me, either via Zoom or within my area in person. I see clients on a one-to-one basis on that way of working with past therapy and all the other benefits that hypnosis, NLP, and the other tools that I use can bring to you for therapeutic change. So thank you very much indeed for being here to the end. I really appreciate your interest in parts therapy. It is so important on this journey in life to understand ourselves so that we don't have to live a limited life. So I wish you every success on your journey ahead. And I look forward to hearing from you with your success stories. Thank you very much.